Architecture is one of the first things people notice. By architecture, I mean whether you're doing so. Now that AI is involved, all these what are they called? Robots were designed by architects, but those are robotic architects. Now, a property with striking design, thoughtful layout, and curb appeal is easier to market. Use what's it called? The International Conference Center, for instance. If you want to market that property, if it was a private company, you want to market it, it's very easy. Very, very easy. But I didn't think that building was built inside somebody's thick forest or thick village. To be hard to see people to come about it. From real estate agents and developers, that translates into faster sales and less time sitting on the market. Even small touches like inviting entrance, a well-placed window can make the property more. The third one, it influences buyer perception. People don't just buy buildings, they buy how those buildings make them feel. I was watching the speech when he said his daughter saw a building close to where the building was. She said that building would be nice for reception. Because it influenced our perception. A modern spacious apartment can give a sense of comfort and prestige. Nowadays, most of these houses have the room is just here to here. Your children cannot even play in your family. When it is designed with comfort, it adds prestige. While a planned office space signals professionalism and success, speaking is very important because we converted it to residential. This hall is planned. This office is planned. That reception is planned. That kitchen area is planned. You know that because of having a good environment, you can combat residential building, and just redefining the meaning of each space. Architecture shapes how those impressions, often within seconds, which can tip the scale in buyer's decisions. The fourth one, it supports sustainability and compliance. Architecture also ensures buildings meet safety goals. These safety goals were normal. Supposed to give practical aspect of architecture. Supposed to give 6 meters narrow. So that's in front. On the side, they're supposed to give 3 meters. Side, 3 meters for this side. This is Nigeria. When you go to Liverpool, things about how land is organized. Looking at orientation, sunlight, wind, access road, parking, walkways, and natural features. Is there anybody here that when you wake up, or what wakes you up is the sunlight from the wind? When you know that they don't break, you see sun is at your window. That is your back. That is on that side. Sunrise, it will be to wake up at night. Sunset. Now the form and the function, which I will explain. What type of video would you like to do for the first time? Or then you like flat shoot? You like flat shoot? You have flat shoot. You like chasing the difference. He likes flat shoot. So when you understand the function of this building for this particular client, this particular building, enable you to differentiate this client, this client. You don't force this client's perception or choice these other clients. This principle means a building's shape should reflect its purpose, circulation, movement of people, and flow, how spaces connect. Now, lectural style. Some people like old line of architecture. If you go to Royal Palace, type of furniture what is going to explain to you is that like that kind of architecture. Funny enough, those chairs are expensive. But somebody can like a modern house. I want to, when I come into my house, I should just see we turn on the light. Styles can draw from history, culture, and modern technology. In Nigeria, many buildings mix modernism with locality. When you go to the entrance of a building, think this is modern architecture. But when you go inside, you'll be seeing traditional architecture. There are people that like, auntie, give me egusi, add small bono inside. So some people like that modern view outside, but when you enter into their building, they like local things. Now the materials and finishes, durability, cost, and aesthetics. You can use, I can design a particular building for this man and this man. Now the costs of that building will be determined by the finishes. I can do the skeletal parts for both of them. And they like modern things. But now, what differentiates this man's building and this man's building is the finishes. What will I use now? Some people will tell you go and buy Turkish cotton. This man can afford Turkish cotton. This man will just tell you go to Kenyatta, just buy any cotton, put in my house. Now the preference between this man and this man are not the same. And again, these two materials, his own might spoil within a year, 2 years. This man's own is still there. Choosing material is about balancing long-term durability, affordability, and appearance. Now, in summary of this concept, Site planning makes buildings fit into land and context. Form and function ensures the design works for its purpose. Architectural styles show a mix of colonial, modern, and local influences across Enugu landmarks. Materials and finishes determine how durable, attractive, and cost-efficient projects are. That's why some people finish plastering their house. More. The materials are important. Now, let's differentiate between, take me to the next slide, between residential and commercial design. I added these two designs. How many of us know this building? Okay. If you're driving down Agric Bank bus stop, once you look straight, this building is standing there. So, yes. By God's grace, this is one of our projects that I headlined. Okay. Let's talk about residential design. Homes in Nigeria are shaped by climate, culture, and modern living. Now, you can't have a room in a commercial building, or you can have it in a residential building. Nigerian receiving guests. All of us, we know this one. Once you enter into somebody's house, you are going into the living room. But now, they've added ante-room or waiting room. You come in, if you don't want to see the guests, tell them to stay in the ante-room before they enter the main room. While bedrooms are more private and located deeper inside, at least we can tell that you must access the living room before you get to the bedroom, except it's a guest room. Now, lighting. Natural lighting is important for both comfort and for reducing energy costs. Large windows, courtyards, and skylights are common in newer designs. For example, many contemporary houses in Abuja Jabi or in Enugu Independence layout feature wide glass openings. At least if we've gone to most of the sites. In fact, this one, even though this is an old building, well, imagine the size of this window. This window is having two purposes, both window and door. Now, ventilation. In a commercial building, most of the buildings don't really care about ventilation because they can use artificial ventilating system, which is making use of air conditioner, ducting, and the rest of them. But in residential building, we know that NEPA will take lights. Except you're a big man, you have 24 hours solar installed. But ventilation is important. And this our weather is something else. With Nigeria's warm climate, ventilation is critical. Traditional houses used wide verandas and cross ventilation, while modern homes incorporate sliding windows, high ceilings, and sometimes mechanical systems. These mechanical systems are the AC I was talking about, the fan, and the rest of them. In coastal areas like Lagos, ocean breeze are maximized through building orientation, while in Enugu, elevated terrain helps natural lighting. At least we know that we are on the hilly part of Enugu State is on the hill. If we've gone to, what's the name of this place again? That's from there you travel out, 90 Mile. Those are hilly parts of Enugu. Now, coming to commercial design, they are keen on space efficiency. In this building that we built 3 years ago, we've not finished it, but they've paid for every floor. If you call, we don't have space. They've paid for everything, and they were disturbing us to finish. Now, space in here was done per square meter. Per square meter. Let's say each square meter is 50,000. Multiply it by how many square meter you need, and we'll give it to you. In cities where land is expensive, like Enugu, efficient use of space is key. Multi-story office towers in Lagos, Victoria Island, or Abuja Central Business District maximize vertical spaces. As we have, most of the buildings are not wide, but they are tall. They're just stacking floors upon floors upon floors. Often with shared utilities and flexible office layouts. Shopping malls like Polo Park in Enugu use large open plan layouts for retail flexibility. Sure, we can see some of these logos. Can we see it? These are branding. These are branding. So a commercial building is defined by its branding. Architecture also communicates identity. Banks like GT Bank and Zenith Bank often use sleek glass facades and bold signature to reinforce their corporate image. Hotels like Echo Hotel, at least you've seen pictures of Echo Hotel. Before you get to the hotel, from far distance, you are seeing Echo Hotel written on it. Or Garden Royal in Enugu reflects their brand through distinct designs, grand entrance, modern interiors, and recognizable aesthetics. A commercial building must be easy to reach and navigate. At least this particular building, it is in the heart of Independence Layout. From here, you can access anywhere. In fact, for people that are scared of heights, if you stand on this 4th floor, you'll be scared because the wind and the breeze blowing there is something else. This means good parking, multiple entry points, elevators. We have 2 elevators in this one. We are installing one outside for the lounge upstairs, and we have one inside. For example, malls like Jabi Mall in Abuja or Spa in Enugu are located near major roads with generous parking space. There's enough parking space for anybody that visits Spa to park. For anybody that visits ShopRite, there's enough parking space. So parking space is one thing you have to put into consideration when designing a commercial building. Good. Accessible interiors. Okay, take me to the next slide. Sustainability and modern trends. Okay. Do you know what green architecture is? Green architecture is incorporating modern things into your building. Modern means of survival. Installing solar lights, lighting system, installing automation, and the likes. Modern architecture in Nigeria is increasingly adopting eco-friendly practices like solar panels, rainwater harvesting, and energy-efficient windows help reduce running costs and environmental impact. There was a time they gave, I think it was the house of Chimaroke, EDC brought bill, NEPA bill for him, monthly bill. He was reading, I think, 3.5 million. What he did, he told them to come back the next day and remove all their wires. He moved all the whole wires, got a company, gave the company money, wired solar systems in all the structures. Now he has no business with EEDC. That might be expensive initially, but on the long run, if you calculate 3 million or 3.5 million every month, in a year alone. Okay. For example, some estates in Lagos and Abuja integrate solar systems. At least we've built an estate in Centenary. This design I was using, for example, can you take it back? This design is in an estate, and they incorporated solar systems in all the buildings. Let's go to the slide we are in. Now we've talked on green building futures, smart homes. I think I said when there are some people, this is my organ and this is my organ. This one might like modern things. This one likes, I want to stand up and go and off that light. This one I want to say, Siri, off my light, and the lights will off. It's not magic, it's preference. Because this man might be thinking, what if he gets spoiled? Who will come and repair it? That's why cars like Lamborghini are not common in Nigeria. Because which mechanic will come and repair it for you? But see Corolla. Once you come out, you must see a Corolla. Anywhere, you must see a Corolla. Technology is reshaping residential design. Homes now feature automated lighting, security systems, and climate control that can be managed via smartphone. We have a hair. See this is TV camera. Oga can go out, and on his phone, he's seeing all of us. From his phone, he can rotate this to see this my Oga there, just using smart technology. In high-end areas like Lekki or Enugu's Independence layout, even though we don't really have much smart homes in Independence layout, but when you go to places like Centenary, the competition there is too much. Places like Diamond Estate, Haley Estate, competitions there. Now, you get money, me, I get money. When we know who in house, go find pass. So, places like Zoo Estate to Centenary, smart home futures are becoming a selling point. For instance, if you have a client that just came back from, let's say, Canada, and he's used to Siri, on in lights, off in lights, and then he wants to buy a property from you. You now take him to Ababa to go and buy property. And then me, I take him to Centenary to go and buy property. Which is likely to sell more or to sell fast? Somebody that is coming from Canada and he is used to modern technology, he has the money. But in all, smart home technology, it will save a lot of time. It's expensive, but it saves time. Okay, then market advantage. Buildings that combine sustainability with modern tech attract buyers faster and command higher prices. So this particular one is for the high income earners. Salary, they buy this kind of house. Even in government, you have to be using pen to do things to be able to afford this one. A commercial complex with low energy bills or a building with smart security system stand out in a competitive market, offering both lifestyle value and financial savings? Okay, next slide. Let's go to regulations now. I just defined this in a layman's understanding so that we don't start speaking grammar. Building codes. These are safety rules for buildings, like making sure the structural aspect of the building is strong enough so people can be safe in it. I talked about giving 6 meters from the road, from the road to your fence. Now, permits. This is just collecting permission from government, which is taking your building to go and register it. Permissions from the government before you start building. Then zoning laws, rules that say that what kind of building can be in a place. Like I talked about, if Nigeria was, I don't want to insult this country. Okay, let's say in the Western world, it's still found in Enugu. Thank you. You can't build. Good. Thank you. Some places, maximum is 2-story. Some places, maximum is 1. Exactly. Yes. Good. At least this is a life experience. So there are some places you can't just, you know, you want to open a chemical company and you're coming to Independence Layout to come and build it. They won't even approve it. Then penalties, of course, demolition, or they will seal the property. Next slide. Architecture as a marketing tool. What are the things you see in a building that will convince you that I like this building? I like this building. This building is fine. I like this building. The staircase is spacious. My children can play while coming down from the staircase. Visual storytelling. This is in a practical sense. This is just if you're marketing a property or a building. Practically, you can use your phone and explain the type of building that building is. That sells faster than just bringing floor plan and telling the clients that this building is 5 bedroom. But he's not saying it. He's not even seeing the 3D. He's not even seeing a video of it. And he wants to market it and he expects the clients to buy it. It's not possible. Now, good design makes it easier to sell property because people buy what they can see. In Igbo, they will say, Anya ge richer before onu erie. That's the eyes will eat first before the mouth. And imagine themselves living in it. Renderings, 3D models, and visual tours. Before the end of this class, I'll play a visual tour for us that I designed. This helps buyers walk through a house or office before it's even built. There are some clients that once you do, this visual tour is called animation. I'll still play it for us to watch. It's called animation. I did one for Citygate Estate. It's called animation. At least some buildings, you must not build everything to sell it. If you have a visual aspect of it that you can use to convince your clients to sell. Okay. For example, many new estates in Abuja and Enugu use visual tours online to attract buyers. Another thing you can use as a marketing strategy is highlighting features. This building has lifts. You don't need to stress yourself climbing the staircase. This building has swimming pool. You don't need to go outside or find a hotel to go and swim. You know, this building has garden, has rooftop lounge. You can just go there and chill. So architecture makes special features shine. A rooftop garden. That building in Agric Bank has a rooftop lounge. That's why we're introducing that lift outside. For ease, nothing more. Just ease and luxury. So yeah, if you're coming to that building for business, you use the inside lift. If you're coming for relaxation, use the outside lift. A swimming pool or even a spacious double volume living room creates a wow factor that makes a property stand out in a crowded market. In Lagos, luxury apartments often uses glass facades and balconies facing the ocean. There's this place in Lagos that only the wealthy people live. VI. No. CVI. Banana Island. Where a land is sold for 4 billion naira. Just a land. Sold for 4 billion naira. Land. Okay. Ocean to highlight views as a selling point. Now, target appeal. I talked about this my oga and this my oga having different preference. I can design a building for this man and he will like it. If I take that same design to this man, he will not like it. I have my own choice. You have your own choice. I might like wearing senator. You just like to wear t-shirt and polo and go to where you are going to. Designs can be tailored for a specific audience. Students' housing focuses on affordability and compact layouts near universities. For instance, what is making houses in Albany Road expensive? Students, because of the school there. Luxury villas highlights exclusivity with large spaces, smart technology, and private security. If you go to places like Zoo Estates, there's a kind of car you drive to Zoo Estate, they will not open the gates for you. You have to call. Yes. We have a property there that we designed and built. You have to call the person inside before they open that gate for you. So, technology and private security. In Enugu, homes in Zoo Estates are designed for high-income earners. The client that has this property in this Agric Bank is the one that has the one in Zoo Estates. You know, say you get money where you go get. You finish building a house, you don't like it, you demolish it and start again. We experienced it. You finish, you say you don't like it, demolish it. You demolish and start afresh. So where your money stop and that person money starts. So high income earners, while estates around Transekulu targets middle income families. Okay, let's go to common building types. At least we know residential buildings, houses, apartments, duplex, estates. Commercial buildings, offices for business, shopping malls, banks, hotels, and for commercial purposes. Then institutional, things like IMT, ASUT, and like school, university, hospitals, government offices. They are institutional buildings. Then industrial buildings, factories, warehouses, like we have in MNA Road. Okay, Eke MNA, yes, Eke Express. And power plant. Okay, we have religious buildings, as our churches, mosques. Shrine is even part of it's even part of this category. So recreational buildings for leisure, sports, arts, such as our stadiums, theaters. This Enugu International Conference Center can still serve as cultural building, commercial building, and recreational building, depending on the function they want to perform inside of it. Mixed-use buildings, a blend of this and that. I want to have shops on the ground floor. Then my house should be on the first floor. Some people like it that way. Let me generate money from tenants using the shop while I service the building and still pay myself as a client. So high-end areas with shops on the ground floor, offices in the middle, and apartments above. Okay. So this next one, I intentionally didn't want to add it, but after town planner Ebenezer came, I had to, because this class was mainly for basic. But when he mentioned AutoCAD, and I couldn't enter Wahala, so so I had to add it. So we are diving down into practical aspect of it. These are some of the tools that we use to design most of these fantastic buildings that we see around. He mentioned AutoCAD. AutoCAD is just like manual drawing, just sketching with your hand. You can only sketch floor plan and elevation. You can't render it. You can't model it. How will I put this thing now? Modeling is like building the house, but inside your laptop. AutoCAD is just like sketching with your hand, still inside the laptop. Now, this is basically 2D drafting. Why do architects use it? This is one of the oldest softwares. As long as you are in the construction industry, see this software, you must use it. Architect to surveyor, civil, you must use the software. Now, coming to ArchiCAD. This is a blend of sketching and modeling and even rendering. But the quality of the rendering is not that aesthetically. Building information model, which is BIM, for 3D design, construction documentation, and project coordination. Why do architects use it? Popular amongst firm. But you see this software, in Nigeria, we know we like Osho free. Abroad, for an architect to use this software, you must be licensed, and you pay heavily for it. Monthly subscription for that matter. But for Nigeria, we have cracked version. I use free. It's popular amongst firms that focus on design workflows and collaboration. It also allows integration of architecture, structure. This MEP is mechanical and electrical. So with this software, I can achieve architectural drawing, you can achieve structural drawing, you can achieve electrical and mechanical drawing. Good. So if you know this software, you can achieve a complete building plan. Even though in Nigeria, our advice, if you're an architect, do your architectural design. If you're an engineer, do your structural design. Electrical and mechanical, the same thing. So what are the strengths? It is easy to learn. Once you are willing to learn, this software is easy to learn. Great for both small and large projects. Good rendering integration, real-time collaboration. With this software, you can convert a model you did in this, convert it to this, convert it to this, convert it to so many others. So with this software, if I export a drawing using Revit file, it will open in Revit. If I export the file in SketchUp using this ArchiCAD, it will open here. That's how powerful this software is. But some of these softwares like this one, if maybe I design with SketchUp, it might be difficult to open this SketchUp file in ArchiCAD. Now coming to Revit, this is also another software that we make use of. Use it for architectural model. You can still use it for mechanical and electrical, but it's mostly difficult. It allows integration of architecture, structural, and mechanical into one model. So the strengths: parametric modeling, real-time collaboration, efficiency in producing drawings. Now, SketchUp is also a design tool that architects use for their drawings. Conceptual 3D model and quick design visualizations. Why do architects use it? Perfect for brainstorming, massive studies, and early stage design. Just that your brain will, you have to open your brain well and be willing to learn to use SketchUp. So let's see other softwares. Rhino. This one is not common. In Nigeria, this one is not common. I think maybe you just see 1% of architects that use this software. It's not common. This one is a plugin for this one. These two are not common. But will you get it? Yes. But will it integrate to other softwares? No. 3D Max, this is solely, so this one are solely for visualization. We are not modeling anything here. We are only rendering. By rendering, I mean producing the 3D. I'll still show us what a 3D looks like. 3D Max has high quality rendering animation. Lumion, real-time rendering and visualization. Now, using that ArchiCAD, combining ArchiCAD and Lumion, for example. ArchiCAD is a modeling software. Lumion is a rendering software. But I can live sync ArchiCAD into Lumion. Any changes I make in ArchiCAD, it will reflect in Lumion. But you have to have a powerful system to do it. Twinmotion as well is a rendering software. Produces real-time, similar to Lumion. Why architects use it is easy to link with softwares like Revit, ArchiCAD, and SketchUp. Fast rendering, supports VR intuition interface. The disadvantage of this one and this one is that this one is very heavy. You might be rendering, maybe doing animation of 4 seconds. using this Lumion. Before that 4 seconds video we render, it might take you 8-10 hours to just render. But this one is faster. But all of these things, it still boils down to preference and the one you choose to use or you choose to learn. Let's see the remaining softwares. V-Ray 2 is another software that you can use to render. Enscape, this one is not common, but architects do use this one. You'll be wondering why Photoshop is here. Abi? At least, most of our photographers, they use Photoshop. Why do they use Photoshop? We know that the camera, even if you have a good camera, you still need to edit some things, add lightning, add background if you want to. That is the use. The same way photographers use their Photoshop is how we use our Photoshop. You might finish rendering in any of the softwares, bring it into Photoshop, add lightning, add beds, add so many other things just to make it look realistic. Illustrator is the brother of Photoshop. It does the same thing. Graphic designers use it. It does the same thing. So let's see, even though I've explained it, but let's just summarize the softwares. Now, AutoCAD, Revit, and ArchiCAD is used for drafting, documentation, and then 3D modeling. Conceptual designs. If we've seen some of these skyscrapers, this is the software for it. But how many skyscrapers do we have in Nigeria? If at all we even have anyone. We have in Lagos, okay. These are the softwares they use for it. Then for rendering and visualization, you can use any of these softwares. If you're willing to learn any of these softwares, you can use it. It's just like, I'm a tailor. I use electrical machine that will just plug in lights. No, automatic. And then another person uses manual, will still produce the same result. Then Photoshop is called post-production. That's after rendering, you go and edit it. It's called post-production. Use Photoshop or Illustrator. InDesign is not really common. In fact, you hardly, because it's paid version, you hardly see architects or photographers using InDesign. Now let's interact. Okay, this is a typical floor plan. Even though I'll still open another one that will talk to us about. I'll still open another full building plan that contains architectural, structural, mechanical, and electrical. But this is a typical floor plan. This is the ante room. Okay, how will I open the full drawing? Is it there? Call him. No, not another slide. I gave him a full detailed drawing. Call him to open. Let's just use it rather than repeating. Let's just see what a full building plan looks like. Samaik, open that full drawing. Yeah, that one. Okay, this is just the cover page. Shows where the land is, shows the clients and then the company in charge. This is my brand, this is my company. So let's go down. When you open a full drawing, the 3D will welcome you. This is a 1-bedroom apartment that I designed for the client. He doesn't have enough parking space, so I introduced parking space under, and then these gates will park other cars too. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. At least we can see all these chains, Abby. Those are for security reasons. We still have where another 6 cars can park inside. Without an architect, how are you going to achieve this solution? Because this is a problem that needed a solution. Go to the next slide. I think you see another 3D. Okay, these are other views. These things are called perspective views. They're called perspective views. Now to the next slide. Next. This is called site plan. Town planner Ebenezer came with survey plan. When you give an architect that survey plan, he produces a site plan. If you guys can remember when I talked about site planning, I was saying you come into the building, this is where I want my parking to be. This is what I was explaining. This is parking here. Some cars will park here as well. This same site plan, in survey plan, to just show you the square meter of the site. But in architectural drawing, you check the total land area, which is what the survey plan will show you. Here we now add total built area. This whole space that the building contains is the total built area. Now the unbuilt area are all of these places that there is no houses there. That's the unbuilt area. You also calculate it. Total parking lot, you calculate it. Total flower porch, you calculate it. Now, as a layman, all these hashes, this dot, 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 and this line, line, you might not understand it. That's how you have legend. At least this hash now is the space for the proposed building. This green area are for flower porch. Overhead tank, look at it here. Parking lot, look at it here. General septic tank, look at it here. Do you know why it is here? No. Cars can park on it, but you reinforce it. Yes, that's all. You save space and reinforce it. That's all. Then borehole. You can add borehole here or well, depending on the amount the client is willing to spend. But with all of these things mentioned here, a layman can understand what all these things are. Now, let's go to the next slide. This is a typical ground floor plan. It's just like, this is a ground floor. These thick lines represent the wall. I normally like to shade my own so that you know that these are walls. These things are walls. A wall can be, in architecture, we call it 2 to 5. That's the measurement. The 225 is what you call 9-inch block. 150 is 6-inch block. Do you understand? So these things are walls. I normally like to add to make my floor plans functional. Even if you don't consult, or when you consult an electrical engineer, from this you can define where your TV will be, where your dining area will be, where your fridge sockets will be, where your system, the sockets will be. You will know where your bed will be. Your toilet, you can see where the sink, that's the washing hand basin, is. See where the toilet seater is. See where the shower is. So you can understand your building. Even you as a layman. You now with this knowledge, you can tell that this is a bed. This one is computer or laptop. Now, labelings are here to show what each area is. Entrance, living room, dining, lobby, bedroom. Now, this, of course, what is this? Good. These things, so you are seeing all these lines that are running. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These things are called grid lines. GRIDE, grid lines. They are used for setting out. Why they are marked in between is that most people set out their building using the center. For instance, from this to this is our wall. But if you are to mark it out and set it out, we'll measure the center of this place and put our grid line. This one now that has a head and using X, and you then draw it down. See another one. This is called section. Section line. It's just like you cutting. If I divide this building now and separate it, shall we see what is inside? Sir? Yes. Yes. 4 flats on each floor. Thank you for that. This is 1 flat. This is another flat. This is a staircase to access these flats and the ones up. This one is another staircase to access the flats up. This one is another flat. This one is another flat. The client said he wants to have his own building at the last floor. This staircase is for him. This other staircase is an escape staircase. We'll still go to the 3rd floor. You see where this staircase does a function. So what else? Okay, we've talked about these are just basic grid lines and the rest of them. Now let's go to the next slide. This is cantilever plan. I normally like to add it so that you don't get confused. Cantilevers are projections that extend a building. This, yes, from decking. This is a cantilever. This projection outside is a cantilever. So me, I like to add those cantilevers so that you know where it is. And I add measurements to each of them. I add the total measurements. From here to here is 450. I add it. In architecture, we design in meters, not feet. Feet is for layman, but meters is for professionals. So I've added where my cantilevers will be and the measurements. Now let's go to the first floor. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cantilevers are added to increase the space of a structure. Yes. The dam is normally ground floor. Yes. So anything you want to add, you start from first floor to create more space. And then aesthetics too. But mainly is to create more space for the building. That's why when you go to some apartments and you go to your neighbor's parlor upstairs, you see that it's bigger than your own. And ground floor is just small. Good. Your rent might not be the same amount to, so it increases the space of the structure. And again, aesthetics. If you just have one straight building, it will not, depending on the design, but most times it's not really. As long as it doesn't cross the person's fence, he's not stealing. He's not stealing. As long as there's a fence there and it doesn't extend outside the fence, he's not stealing. He's not stealing. So let's go to the first floor. If you notice, those cantilevers added spaces. Go to the ground floor. Let me show them something. Just go down the slide below. Where is it? Okay. This one doesn't have balcony. Go to the first floor. No, you're on the second floor. Go down, down. Sorry, up. Yes. Go up again. Good. This is 2.7 meters. Now let's go to the first floor. This is 3.150 meters. You see where that space comes in? Good. That's where that cantilever comes in. This is practically the same thing we have downstairs, just bigger spaces. Bigger spaces. Now go to the second floor. Now the clients wanted to live on the second floor. We had to redesign his second floor. He needed a 4-bedroom on the second floor for him to live. This staircase I was telling you guys about, this is where he plays a function. This is his own personal staircase. This one is an exit staircase in case of fire outbreak. So this is an anteroom. This is also called a waiting room, where you entertain guests. If you don't want them into your living room, you entertain guests here. And then this is the dining. Now, most escape routes are found in the kitchen, but layman will call it veranda. But for the purpose of this building, this is an escape route. If he doesn't want to see guests that are here, you go through the kitchen and then leave. Good. This is master's bedroom. These are balconies or walkways. Now, Oga get house, you'll come and see what's in there happen for your house. This is the master WC. He has his own bathtub. You call it when we were little, we used to call it small swimming pool. This one now. But it's called a bathtub. This one is the shower. This one is another bedroom. This one is the children's bedroom. Now let's go to the next one. This is a roof plan. Anytime you see something like this with intersecting lines, this is called a roof plan. You understand? Normally, I usually a professional will cut out a section of the roof, which I told you guys about dividing a structure to see what is inside. Good. The same, what is this line for? Section. These ones are normal grid lines. Now, if you watch closely, you will see small dash, 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 dash. This one represents the wall under. From here to here is your parapet. From here to here is your parapet. So every roof plan has this hash to indicate that that's where the main wall of the building is before the projection of the parapet. Next slide. This one is front elevation. It's just like me standing. This is my front. This side is my left. This side is my right. Behind is my back. That's just what this is. This one is front elevation. The next one, left elevation. The next one, this rear is also called back, but professionally we call it rear elevation. Let's see the right. This one is the right elevation. Next. Good. This is the section I was telling you about. If I divide this thing now, I will see all these things that they used to hold it in between. This is it. These small, small ones. What do you call all these things? Lintel. That's what you call it. This one now is your deck. This one is your deck too. These ones now are your roof members. If you've seen a skeleton of a roof, this is what it looks like. You'll be wondering why are these people joining roof up and down, up and down. This is what it looks like. Good. Then this is from here to here is the ground floor. From here to here is the first floor. From here to here is the second floor. This small one now is parapet. This one now, this skin post is the highest point of the roof. That's why, okay, let me ask this question. How many floors is this building? How many stories is this building?
1 story. 1 story. 1 story.
Even though each one is copied answer. But a layman will see this thing and call it 3 stories. But it's 2. Ground floor. Story 1, story 2. Good. But you can still see how many floors? 3 floors, but 2 story. So to understand it better, just tell me 2 story. I know that there must be a ground floor now. You know, fly go up. So next one. The sizes of doors, windows, you must include it. These things are what we use to take to the market and measure the doors and windows we are going to use. So all of these things will be captured. You will know how many of this type of window is in your building. This one is 2. How many of this type of window is in the building? This one is 8. This particular window, how many do we have? 21. This particular one, this one is toilet window. How many do you have? 7. The same thing applies to door. So let's go to the next slide. This one is just general merchandise. Your bathroom, bathroom sitter, shower, wash hand basin, and the rest of them. So this is done for architectural drawing. Now, let's go to, this one too is sock away, septic tank. This is it. Okay. Mango. Manhole. Okay, no, you might not show, you will not show it. Depending on where you cut your section from. How will I put this now? Can you see the front of this chair? Can you see the front of this chair? Exactly. Depends on where you cut your section from. From here now, can you see what is written here? Can you see what is written here now? Exactly. So it depends on where you cut your section from. Using the manhole. But what are you going to the rooftop to do? If not for electricians to go and repair your roof. It is added, but you will not see it. There are some secrets you don't just spill out. You don't want your client to call you. You just carry drawing and give clients. You want a bricklayer to build your house now. So there are some things. This one I just gave everything out, but there are some things, or I might change some things, some names. You must call me to come to your site and explain it. Exactly. But we don't normally do it. Shall we have church mind? We have church mind. We normally give out everything. So let's go to structural drawing. These are just general notes and the rest of them. This one, you don't need this one. In architectural drawing floor plan, it was not like this. But in structural drawing, these things, good, these are columns. These things are columns. These ones are beams. But in architectural drawing, to you, these are wall. Good. But in the structural aspect, these are columns. This is section. This shows how deep it will go. These things are mainly section 1, section 2. Cutting section from this side, cutting section from this side. This is just what it means. So this one is foundation / trench excavation. Some people like to use architectural drawing to do their setting out and then come to structural drawing and know where columns are. So let's go to the next slide. This one is column details. This one now, this is that ground floor, this is that first floor, this is that second floor. This Y412, this is just showing you that the column has 4 bars. And then this 12 is 12 mm. That's the thickness of your rod. So this one is 16 mm. This one is 16 mm. You might be wondering why is there 16 here and there is 12 here. We are reducing the load as we go up. We are reducing the load as we go up. Okay, next slide. Then this one is first floor. That's the one that has cantilever now. This one is for it. This one, your engineer will understand this one very, very well. So, but it's just for you to know it. So that when you see it, you say, okay, this one is a structural design. So, next slide. This one now, those beams that in architecture we call them walls. These are their details. This beam now, that is starting from here to here, there's a calculation done. Some beams might be, you have 2 down, 2 up. But because of the span, this might be 3 down, 2 on the side, 3 up because of the span. But all these things are calculated by your structural engineer. So next slide, the same thing. Next slide, good. All those, how many of you have gone to a site where iron benders are working on the beam? Good. Those irons that are going, this is the drawing. You call it baskets. This is the drawing. You don't just go and start pouring iron rod on the deck. You must calculate it. So this is it. You might be wondering, why are they not this thing here? This is the staircase. It has its own separate drawing. So next slide. This one now is for second floor. That Oga's house on the second floor. It has its own separate column arrangement. Some columns that start from ground floor might not be seen in second floor. So this one that explains the second floor. So next slide. This one is details of beams in the second floor. The ground floor has its own beam details. First floor has its own beam details. Second floor, even if you have 20 floors, all of them have different beam details. So next slide. The same thing. Next slide. Same thing. Next slide. The same thing I explained on the deck that you are seeing iron everywhere. This is the drawing for those irons. But you now, you might not understand. Okay, you've come to this class. A layman now will be wondering, what is this rubbish? This is just jargons. But a structural engineer will explain this thing and understand it better. So next slide. That staircase now. These are the details for it. All these points are iron rods. All these small points are iron rods. Next slide. We are done with structural drawing. Now if you build house, you go wire now. All these things we are enjoying is because of the electricians. Good. It has its own drawing too. It's not magic. God said, let there be light. But God is an engineer too. He's an electrical engineer, whether we like it or not. So let there be light. You will calculate it. You will design it. So this thing is just to show you what each element represents. All this, if you see this small thing. Okay, this one is. So this one you can count 1, 2, 3, Abby. This particular one. Please, people should read what is written here. How many this thing is here? This is what it signifies. If it is 2 like that one, you see it has 2 slash. Yeah. But to you now, this thing is, the person is just playing, but it has meaning. All these things. This one now is shape of object that represents chandelier. Every object here has a meaning. This one, CCTV, yes. Everything is represented. This one now, change distribution board. This, you'll be wondering which one is SU1, SU3. SU1, this one is for AC. All those floor-mounted AC. This is SU1. SU3, wall-mounted. I don't know why they don't have to. Me, I don't know. I'm not an electrical engineer. But all these things are just to show you that each of them represents something in a building. Each of them represents something. So let's go to the next slide. The same way we have ground floor, we also have electrical ground floor too, where you see all the wires. Now, there's a specific name written on it. Sockets layout. This one is only for sockets. It's only for sockets, not for lights. Remember I added a computer desk here. Look at the socket. You use and charge your system now. Remember the bed is here. There's a bed socket. Now we are lazy naturally. We don't want to stand up and go and plug our phone. So once you have a socket close to your bed, you just and charge. More especially when you are watching TikTok, there's always videos playing and your phone is down. Just plug it and charge. And then this is what the AC representation looks like. This is the S3, SU3. This is it. This one is another SU3. This one now that has 0000. If you zoom closely, you see TV written here. This one is where the TV will be. Remember, this is the living room. This is where the TV is. There's a fridge I kept here in my architectural drawing. This is the socket for it. So everything must be represented when it comes to electrical aspect of building. Now let's go to the light, I think first floor of it. The same thing. The same where socket is, where your AC is, where your distribution board is, basically the same thing. But for you as an engineer, as an electrical engineer, you know that once you enter a building, okay, we'll still go to that. Next slide. Okay, this one is for the second floor. Next slide. Now we are in lighting. Lighting layout. All these bulbs are lighting layout. If you enter, what's the common thing that you do when you enter your building and do your hand like this on the wall? You're looking for a switch to on the lights. This is it. You don't have to enter your building and go and start looking for one switch somewhere. You will fall down. So these things outside are also outside lights. All these lights we see outside, we have to represent it. See that chandelier? He's also here. He has his own switch. This is where that 3-gang comes in. This 3-gang now, if I off it, about 2 or 3 sides of these lights will off. This one is staircase. We still have their own. So everywhere in terms of lighting points, they are represented. The same thing happens, go to the next slide. First floor, the same thing. Second floor, the same thing. The only difference is this second floor now, based on the design, has changed, or the layout in this second floor has changed. Where those lightings are have changed. Good. Go to the next slide. You know, Nigeria, we don't, when fire happens, or when there's a fire outbreak, we say devil has come again. But we don't know that we are supposed to have fire safety measures. Most times it is in the design, but when it's time to implement, they tell you they don't have money to add all those things. But it is important. This one now is fire detector and CCTV layout. Each room or each big space should have a smoke detector. Each big space should have a smoke detector. Each big space should have a smoke detector. And then CCTV. This is a compound house. So most times CCTV are outside. You not go and mount CCTV inside somebody's house. This is now when you decide to mount your own in your personal apartment, you then include it. But for the function of this design, you will not include it. So next slide. The same thing, first floor has its own design for smoke detector. Next slide. So the same thing for the second floor. Noting that the positions have changed. Positions have changed. Next slide. This one now. To you, they are lines. But to an electrician that studied electrical drawing, this is distribution board. This is the drawing for the distribution board. all those things that we are seeing wire entering into it. This is design. So each building has its own design. Because the way I wire my house is not the way you wire your house. Exactly. So this is it. This is what it looks like. Next slide. All these systemic diagram of power supply changeover. This is it. Next slide. Thunder arrestor. There was a time we went to install thunder arrestor in somebody's house. So the old woman came out and called her son. Mamu, these people are planting, what's it called? They are putting charm in back of our house. So come back. Ha. So, yes, those mixtures looked like a charm to her. So when the son came back and saw what we were doing, he asked us, what are we doing? He said, we are installing the thunder arrestor. So he told his mom, Mama, this is not charm. This is just to safeguard us from thunder strike. When thunder strikes, it passes through an electrode and then send it down to... That's why if you see most of our high tension wires, there's always a wire that enters down here. That is it. So he has his own drawing. Next slide. That's done. Now, mechanical aspects. Flushing of toilets, washing hand basin, anything has to do with plumbing aspect in your building. This is it. For this particular design, this is it. The same way we have general legend for electrical, the same way we have general legend for this. Each of these represents, at least, this one we know that is toilet seater. All these ones are the same thing. So go to the next slide. You're wondering what's all this dash running. You normally have chambers. Some have started doing chamberless designs now. All those chambers, you flush toilets to go into your chamber and then move. This is it. Cold and hot water supply. Your shower has both hot water and cold water. This is the drawing. You flush toilets. This is the drawing. This is how water passes. These ones represent your overhead tank. Water supply. So represents it. So next slide. On the first floor too. This is it. All these 20 mm is the thickness of pipe. So your plumber might tell you, I want to go and buy 20 mm pipe. This is the drawing. It shows all of those things. So next slide. On the second floor too, the same thing. Next slide. Good. This one now, I flush toilets. Where my water go, where my sheets go. This is the drawing. You flush, it passes through the chamber. Either goes to the septic tank. If it's your kitchen or normal water, it goes to the septic tank and then your sheet goes to your sockaway. This is the drawing. Next slide. If you are in the first floor, you ease yourself and flush. It's the same thing, how it goes. Next slide. Second floor, same thing. Next slide. Overhead tank. You'll be wondering, how do these people pipe my compound? We have 6 flats, for example. I have 6 overhead tanks. How do they understand which one is my own overhead tank? Which one is this other flat? This is a drawing. This is it. If you have money to dig borehole, this is a drawing. These are different layers that you pass before you get to the main earth that will give you the main water, unlimited supply. Next slide. Overhead tank is a drawing. But we have different drawings of overhead tank. This is just basic drawing of overhead tank or water reservoir. Next slide. This now is the details for septic tank and then soak away. This is it. Next slide. That's your chambers. This is the drawing for it. I think we are almost done. Next slide. Details for it. Details of taps, isolated chambers, inspection chambers. These are the details. These ones are pipes. Your plumber will understand all these things going in and coming out. Next slide. I think we are done. Now go back to the other class, this thing. Please, can I?
As an architect, why doing this? Do you engage the plumbers? Do you engage the electricians to know all these things? Or is it just is in a book, or you just fathom it out on your own?
For a complete building plan, we need 4 professionals. In fact, 5. Surveyor will survey the land, give it to the architect. Architects then design, give it to the structural engineer. The same architect will design and give it to the mechanical engineer. Same architect will design and give it to the electrical engineer. So an architect is the chief custodian of every project. I get a contract. You are the civil engineer. She's a mechanical, this is electrical. I give you the drawings. You do your drawing based on what I have designed.
Based on what you have designed?
Yes.
Design based, sorry, please.
Okay. Let me use this thing this particular project that I showed you guys. Where I indicated a toilet. It is the job of the plumber. For layman, you call it plumber. But the job of the mechanical engineer to design how we are going to pipe that particular toilet. Yes. Hold on. Okay. What he's drawing is pipes, where your pipes are laid in my own design. Yes. The positions I've laid for my toilet. His job is to show me where the pipe will be. For the engineer, his job is to, if this building collapses, I'll hold the engineer. And the architect, thank you. The structural aspect is what's. Thank you. Yes. That's it. For electrical aspects, he shows me where my lighting is, my sockets is, and the rest of them. So even though we've not entered questions, but you can still ask questions if. Okay, let's go to takeaways. I think we are coming to the end before the next slide. Now, in all of these things that we've said, please let's read this collectively. 1, 2, go. Next. Next. You can't separate them. So now, questions before we do the last thing and we call it a day.
Okay, thank you so much for this. I have quite a number of questions, but he asked one of them because. So the first one is, you said something about rendering. Are there AI tools that can make this thing faster? Like you just put it and put a good prompt and everything is already, going. And then, what's the difference between an architect, a quantity surveyor, a builder, something they call it, and all that? Because I have an uncle that is a quantity surveyor, but they build house everywhere, and just give him. You don't need. You just need to have land, and give it to him, and he's doing everything. In fact, the other day I think I saw him with AutoCAD or Archix. He was doing one drawing. He was learning drawing, and then I really want to understand their different positions. And then borehole in Enugu, I heard it's not something that is very feasible. I don't. You said something about borehole. I don't know about that. Then you were saying something about solar being in every part of the building. I don't get. Is it like one solar for everything, or they will just put solar for this side, a different solar for this side, a different solar for this side? Thank you.
The first one is about AI, Abby. Will AI can do it, but it will not give you a comprehensive detail of what you want. You can tell AI to design a floor plan for you using the prompt you give it. But after designing, you will not understand it as a layman. You still need an architect to interpret it. So you can't take architecture out of it. Even that AI that you're using, an architect designed it, but it's an architect for robotics. So you cannot do without architecture. So AI doesn't understand human feelings. It doesn't understand that I like my bedroom private. I want to have 3 doors in my bedroom. I want to have a hidden safe in my house. I want to have an underground parking space in my house. AI doesn't understand all of those things. The only thing that most architects do is that we combine real architecture and AI architecture. What we do is, if you don't know how to use rendering softwares, but you know how to use modeling softwares, you can model your buildings, screenshot it, or snipe it, or capture it. Now take it to AI, give it a prompt. I want the color of this wall to be like this. I want the color of this wall to be like this. I want the color. But still, after doing it, if you bring a real 3D done by a human being and AI, there's a difference. There's a huge difference. So your second question is on your uncle, Abi? Yes. Your uncle is dealing based on experience. The truth is, if you've been on site for a very long time, you've seen drawings upon drawings upon drawings. Like you now, you've understood what all these things are. You interpret it. But you cannot interpret it as someone that is an architect. This is your full profession. Yes, you can't interpret it like him. So he might be doing even the plumbing aspect of it. That's because he understands this. But I'm sure he's not doing it by his hands. Is he designing? That one is sketching now. Okay, a surveyor is someone that goes to an empty plot, gets your coordinates. You call it a beacon. Intersect those beacons and then give you, this is the size of your land. That is the function of a surveyor. An architect, give him that survey plan. Tell him what you want to build. Your preference. We call it brief. I want to get your brief. What and what would you like to be inside your building? An architect will design it and then give it to the structural guy. I beg, I won't build this thing. Where I go put my columns, make my building no collapse. Structural guy tells you where columns will be, tells you where beams will be, tells you how to calculate the deck. There's a way this place will span. We introduce a beam. If you don't want to introduce a beam, an engineer will tell you, let's do double mat. That's normal ions you see together is one mat. If you do another one on top, it's double mat. And then let's run secret beams. That's what they call it. You will not see this thing, but they are secret beams running there. Then now for the plumbing aspect, the same architectural design, you give it to a mechanical guy. Please, this is where my toilet is. This is where my kitchen is. How am I going to pipe it? He will tell you this is the size of pipe to use. This is where it's going to be and all of those things. Then who again? Electrical guy, Abi. I've explained it. Let there be light. Na person cause that's the main structural guys. We call them structural guys, yes. Structural engineer, civil engineer is the same thing. They deal on structures. Those ones, they don't care how fine your house is. Can it stand? That's what they're after. Can it stand? If you like design skyscraper, can it stand? You give it to them. Where am I going to put columns that will make this building stand? That's their job. Do you understand? Any other one? That we did, Abby. Each is just like having, this is the semi-detached duplex. I want my own solar. I want to operate it. I want 10 batteries for my own. The other person, I don't care how many he wants. He might just want one, maybe to power only lights. Me, I want 10. I want my AC, my fan, my television, everything to power it. So preferences matters, but each building has its own, not a general solar. The general solar that we installed was just for lighting point of the environment. That's all. Borehole. If you get money, you do borehole. Yes, there is, yes. We can do borehole now. Because most times people complain that their wells dry up. But if you have money, let's go deeper. Deeper, daddy. That's it. So, any other question?
So I want to know the essence of that, cutting out the space. Why in the roofing?
I showed you a section. I used this table to explain that if I cut out this now, this is what you are going to see. If I cut it out from the front, this is what you are going to see. You will now be able to see inside. That's just section. So in the roof now, please go back to that roof plan. No, the other slide. The other slide. Let me show you what I was talking about. This one. Double click. Go up. Just drag it from here. From here. Let's go and get that roof plan. Keep going. Keep going, keep going. Just use the arrow if. Stop, 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 stop. Go down. Small, small, just go down. Go down, go down. Wait, stop, stop. This thing you are seeing, if you snap a picture, an aerial view picture, you see only the roof. This cutout that I was talking about is a section inside the roof. It's just to show you that this thing is not just long span or any other type of roofing sheet, there are woods in it. It was not just placed there. In that section, go to the section, go down. In that section, that's where you see where those things are. Go down, go down. Keep going, keep going. Stop, go up. This thing now is what I captured in that roof plan. So, any other question?
Please, I just want to know on the high level, how largely does your knowledge of architectural plans affect your success in real estate? Like, can you be successful if you have little or no knowledge about these plans in real estate?
Okay. Good. I wanted to add that one. How are you going to convince me that this house is a 5-bedroom duplex without knowing what is inside? How are you going to sell this house if you don't know what is inside or the functions inside? But you talk about it. Go to the floor plan. You say this is the floor plan, this is the living room, this is the... Those things are, you have to have the knowledge of what that space is. For instance, if you want to sell this building as an office, that's the reception. This is the staircase that takes you to Oga office. This place is where we handle our school activities. These are offices. If you don't know all of these things, how are you going to sell it? In a full building now, you have to either get the architectural plan or take somebody that knows all the functions in the building to tell you what they are one by one. You can't sell what you don't know. Do you understand? Or you are still confused?
So like, what I'm looking at is, they don't carry along with them architectural plans.
I know, of the building, Abi, but they ask questions. So you ask questions. If you come into this place, please, where is the office? They will show you. If you don't know that place is an office, how are you going to sell it? So you must ask somebody that knows about the building to be able to sell it.
And there are times a client will not even come to the place. You will be the person to have the documents, the papers, the particulars of the building or structure to market. So when the person comes to your office or when you meet with the person in a meeting place, you are to open the documents, tell the person, okay, this is the survey plan, this is the document for this is for the building plan, this is the building plan. Look at this, look at this, look at this. The person have not been there. But with your good knowledge of what you have in hand, you can explain to the person and convince the person that what is about going for or buying has everything it takes, everything the person needs in that place. So when you have such knowledge, I think you have gone far in marketing your product. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for the lecture, sir. So I wanted to ask, you were saying something about before you give the plan to the person that is doing the plumbing work or the electrical work, you draft out a drawing, and after you draft it out, you now give it to them, and then they now mark the places. You said they are going to draw the places. So I'm like, do they have even any knowledge of drawing that makes them able to use something to draw on them, or they just mark the places where there will be those switches and all?
I did not say you should give it to plumber. I did not say plumber. I said mechanical engineer. I did not say plumber. I said electrical engineer. Biko. Hey. Yes, yes. Just like architecture is a course, civil engineering is a course. All of them are courses. Yes. Buildings, yes. It's divided just like architecture. There are people that are. How do you think airplanes are made? Won't you design it? The architects for that. How do you think boats and ships are made? The architects for that. The same thing with mechanical. So in airplane, for instance, say you go to the loo or to the toilet. It's the work of a mechanical engineer now. Yes. They are based in airplanes. But we are discussing buildings. But most times, all the time, we get the contracts. What I design is what you use and add the function. You can't just design an electrical plan without having an architectural plan. Yes. Redesign. Yes. Yes. You can redesign. Still get your structural guy to tell him we are redesigning, please, where are we going to add columns? So you can redesign. You can remodel. We call it remodeling. Any other question? Okay, I wanted to play a video for us. I was telling us about animations, which is another form of real estate tool. And that one is storytelling. So look for the video. It's there. Just cancel this one. You see City Gate. Just play the video. Let's watch. Is the volume up? Can you increase the volume? Increase. Go back. Fresh. This one is one of the estates. So, thank you, and God bless you. So this is called an animation. With this, what that my Oga said, you can sell. If there's an estate, this City Gate is one of the estates we marketed in Asaba. With this video, we did lots of marketing with it. So with this, you can sell lands there. So this is also visual storytelling. This one, your engineer will not do this one. Even some architects, you have to be an advanced architect to be able to do animations. So thank you, and God bless you.